Hey everyone, welcome to a new video, welcome to my channel. My name is Maaike and today we are going to be talking again about some new makeup releases. It's the start of November. The day I'm filming this, it's the last day of October, the day before this video goes live, because I've been finding that very often I will film this video like a couple of days in advance, and then there's always like stuff that's being released or announced, and then it's not in that video, and then it takes me like another month to talk about it. So I figured that today I was going to wait as long as possible. So I just checked before sitting down this video if there was anything new that I wanted to mention in today's video. So this is all very hot off the press, you could say, and also very hot off the press. I don't know if you can see my little friend here. I just need to address her. Isn't she great? My mom made this. She crocheted a guinea pig and it was a trial thing, and I was like, Mom, can I have it? Because it's just so cute. So the other day my mom and dad came over to visit, and I now have myself a little stuffed guinea pig. So she's going to hang out right here. So that's my new buddy. Yeah, we are just going to be mentioning new makeup releases today. There's a lot to talk about, and I can tell you there are definitely a couple of things where I think I'll have interesting thoughts. So let's just start off with the very first thing, and this is the reason why I left this video late to film, because the last time I did this video in October, Lisa Eldridge announced and launched her new lipsticks again. She seems to be doing this every fall, and last year I got a few of them and I absolutely loved them, and I knew that this year I would get myself a couple of other ones. I definitely bought some of the brighter shades last year, so I focused on some of the darker ones. And of course she had a couple of new ones, so I bought myself some Lisa Eldridge stuff. So this like relaunch slash update I thought was really well done. Lisa Eldridge True Velvet lipsticks are like, they made it like right to like my top 5 all-time favorite lipsticks the minute I tried them. And that's why like together with like Urban Decay Vice lipsticks, my MAC lipsticks, Charlotte Tilbury, and Bite, they are like my 5 favorite lipstick formulas that I have. I think if I just kept those and I would get rid of every single other lipstick in my collection, I think I would be happy, to be quite honest with you. So yeah, Lisa Eldridge True Velvets are just a dream of a lipstick. So I definitely splurged a little bit, you could say. So yeah, I definitely did buy those. I didn't buy all of the new shades though. I don't own a lot of the nudes because they seem very light. But that Velvet Carnival that she came out with, that like very sort of like bright fuchsia, I was like, yes! And also Velvet Dragon, which is like this orange toned red. I knew I wanted to get it the minute I saw it. Sleek has come out with an updated version of their eyeshadow palettes. And on the one hand, I'm super excited for this, and on the other, I'm like, I'm a bit over Sleek eyeshadow quality by now, and I'm not sure if they are very easy to get for me. But they have revamped their entire Eye Divine eyeshadow palettes. They seem to have different shades, completely new color stories. I do have to say I haven't looked into this too much yet, but maybe if they have an interesting color story, I might be up for it. But so far, of everything that I've seen being promoted, it all seems a little neutral. Then I already mentioned in a few of my other videos, Lorac has finally come to Europe. And I'll mention Lorac again to the end of this video because I actually saw that Lorac is coming out with a new palette. But yeah, Lorac is now stocked at Beauty Bay, and also if you're in the Netherlands, they are stocked at Boozy Shop, which is great because now you no longer have to buy through iHerb and go like, is that a good website? Yes or no? I get a lot of questions about it, but yeah, iHerb was where I got some of my stuff before. Then I found out as well about Black Moon Cosmetics doing a new palette called the Urban Myth, which seems to feature 5 shimmers and 5 mattes. There are a few shades in here. I definitely think that green and that purpley shimmer look really cool. I don't think that this is unique enough though overall. Like, I like it. I like how you have like little duos, and I'm pretty sure it can work very well, but ooh, this is not one where I'm like jumping up and down going like, yeah, this is super revolutionary. This is something that I really want to try. Not at all. Zoeva has a new holiday collection called Share Your Radiance, which is limited edition, and it features like a 6-pan eyeshadow palette. But that 6-pan eyeshadow palette looks like it's something that I might already own because it looks very similar to the Precious, I think that's just what it called, Precious palette that they already had. The Precious palette seems to be a bit more plum leaning, and this seems to be more pinky peachy with the gold. Not really something that's really up my street. It does again come with some brushes. I love Zoeva brushes. Maybe if they do a really good Black Friday sale, I might check out the website and just see what's up. They seem to also have been discontinuing quite a lot of stuff. So some of you have been telling me that the On Taupe is now discontinued, and also the a couple of other palettes that they're now getting rid of. So I'm actually hoping that in 2021 they're going to revamp their eyeshadow palettes collection. That would be really cool if they would do that. I'm just speculating here. I'm not sure if that's true, but yeah, I would like to see more like new palettes from Zoeva, because they haven't released like a new 10-pen palette in a hot minute. I think one of the last ones was like late 2018, I think. They haven't really come out with anything new since. Then Natasha Denona has a holiday collection out, and they have the mini Zendo in there. Looks a lot like Retro Love, or Retro whatever palette. That looked really nice, but here you get those two peachy tones that make me go like, what on earth am I supposed to do with this? Like if it had the browns with the mint and then more greens, I would have liked it so much more. And it's not special enough, you know, to really warrant, even though it's only 25 euros. I'm like, really? No. And Catrice now do these 5-in-a-box palettes that look very much like this, so those are only 4 euros. I tried one and absolutely loved it. So no, the color story of this is not up my street. Colourpop has the Taupe collection that they came out with, and I think the palette is called That's Taupe. It does feature a shade I already have, which is Snake Eyes. I have that as a single, but I wouldn't mind owning that again, and they seem to have two really stunning Super Shocks in this collection as well. So definitely the palette and the Super Shocks I'm very interested in. And I actually think that this is even better than the Going Coconuts for me. Like they seem to be promoting this palette as like the cool tone palette, and then Going Coconuts as a neutral palette, and then the Nude Crush as the warm tone version. So sort of like neutrals for every day. And this, of course, you know how I feel about Taupe, so you knew I was gonna love this one. So yeah, I'm gonna wait for Black Friday though. So that's been my promise to myself. There were a few makeup-y bits I wanted to get this month because I wanted to get a couple of products for like a full face of the new brand that I will be trying more of this month. But actually, I think I've tried everything from that brand that I will be featuring in that video. But yeah, I needed a few bits for that. So I did get myself a few things. But I'm definitely sort of like holding off, and there's all these brands now already doing some sort of sale because Colourpop had a 25% off sale last week, and Pat McGrath has some sale going on, and I'm like, but they're just trying to get you to spend more money because everybody knows that Black Friday is coming. So they're trying to get you to spend money now and then also spend money 3-4 weeks from now, and I'm like, I'm not about that life. So I'm just gonna go and yeah, wait for the Black Friday sales before I get anything that's like a bit like bigger, more makeup-y related. The Natasha Denona collection also came with another product, which is the I Need a Glow highlighter, and I thought this looked really nice. It's just that I've now tried one of the Diamond Glow like minis from the Natasha Denona. I don't think I need this, even though I'm very intrigued with it. It seems very pretty, but it is perhaps a little bit warm toned for my liking. I mean, if I look at the 3 pictures I have here, I can't put all of them on the screen, but then in the first picture, it looks like something I will like. And then in the second picture, I'm like, it's very peach. And I have tons of peach highlighters already that I love, so I don't think I'll buy this. Maybe if I can get it on a really, really good deal for Black Friday, I might throw it in, but at this moment, I'm not interested. Beauty Bay has come out with the Book of Magic palette with some purples, blues, greens, and some neutrals. I've seen quite a few people trying this, and this is apparently one of those hyped up things again. I looked at this and I was like, yes, it's blue, greens, and purples, but can we do without the neutrals in this, please? No. This is not, I don't know why. I did buy a Beauty Bay palette a few weeks ago. I bought their pastel palette because I cannot get my hands on the Menagerie Pastel Pup. So I thought, great opportunity to try the Beauty Bay formula. It seemed very chalky. Maybe it's because it's pastels, but they seemed very, very chalky. So I don't think I'll be trying any Beauty Bay cosmetics anytime soon. And then this I thought was super interesting. V Cosmetics is doing a collab with Cradle of Filth. And Cradle of Filth, like, I'm not a metal person at all, but my brother used to listen to a lot of black and death metal when he was a teenager. So Cradle of Filth was definitely a band he listened to a lot. So I have good memories because of that. And I think it really suits the aesthetic of the brand. And I think it's a really fun collab. I just think that the color story is not something I really, really want to go for. Plus, I tried their Grimoire palette earlier this year, and I wasn't wowed by the quality and the way the colors were laid out in that palette, so I'm going to be skipping on that. Then Juvia's Place has announced quite a few new things. They released the holiday collection, the Nubian Royal collection, and especially that purpley Nubian Royal eyeshadow palette. The purpley one, I was like, ooh, that looks nice, because I think it's a good, like, complementary kind of palette to the violets that I already own. But then I think, like, are there like 2 pressed glitters in this thing? Like, it's only a 6-pan palette, and like these shimmers that it features seems like at least one of them is a pressed glitter, I'm sure. And I'm like, but I'm not about that pressed glitter life. So if that indeed is a pressed glitter, I am not going to be getting this. But if it's not, if it's just a very intense shimmer and it just looks like a glitter in the pictures, then I might consider it. Again, Juvia's Place, I'm sort of holding off on buying something from them until the Black Friday sales, because then I know I'll get a much better deal. Morphy has another new palette for holiday, the Natural Florid Artistry palette. I mean, this looks right up my street, you guys, with all the blushy, mauve-y kind of tones. But it's Morphy, and it's 35 shades, and I can already tell just by looking at it how many repeat shades it has. So it's not going to happen. And then Natasha Denona announced another new palette for holiday, and it's a Trichome eyeshadow palette, and it is limited edition. Now, I was quite interested in the liquid chrome shadows that they came out with, and this seems to be 3 of those shades, but in powder form, and then 1 row is featured around that shade from the Trichrome. And I really like the duochromes that Natasha Denona does. I just think that the other shades that this palette has to offer are about the most boring shades you could possibly even like try, and I don't know. And I think this is also expensive, right? Yeah, it's a $129 palette. So it looks stunning. Those 3 very shimmery shades are nice, but I wish the other shades in this palette, there's another 12, that they weren't all matte, and that it wasn't just a gradient of whatever is going on in that color story. I don't think I would use this enough. I would be much happier getting the liquid version and like 1 or 2 of these and use my other shadows, and then I would be fine. I don't need this. I really don't. And then another launch that some people were hyping up is the Mitchell, Made by Mitchell brand that is being launched that features 2 palettes. And I look at these color stories and I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? And then there is this graphic in the background of the palette that throws me off even more, where I'm like, because if I look at the swatches of especially that green one, that looks really nice. But then I'm like, especially that bluey one, like that's just all over the place, and the way the shades are laid out, it just makes me very confused. So for me, I'm gonna pass up on these. I don't care how good the quality is of this, it's not gonna happen. Colourpop has come out with the Pretty Fresh Illuminator. Now, I like the Pretty Fresh foundation concealer, and I'm currently also wearing the Pretty Fresh primer, so why not also try a liquid highlight? Shelby. It seems to come in a few different shades. If I place myself a Colourpop order and this is in stock, I think I will just, you know, put it in the mix to try that out as well, because these look nice. Then Lorac Pro is a brand that does these really big, like, Be Perfect Carnival kind of palettes. This is the Circus Tent, and it looks exactly like a Be Perfect Carnival palette. I don't own that because it is super big, and this also seems to be super big. Yeah, it is nice, it's bright, it's colorful. I quite like that. It's got a couple of nice shimmers, it seems, but also a whole lot of mattes. And I just wish that brands would stop putting so many mattes in colorful eyeshadow palettes. I want more shimmer in colorful palettes, and I don't want them to be this big. Then Give Me Glow Cosmetics is dropping the Cinnamon Bun bundle, I think. I think it's a bundle. I don't think this is actually a palette. Gimme Glow is a brand I still would like to try, even though there have been a couple of like issues with the brand. I saw something on Instagram. I was like, ooh, didn't know that was such a big issue. But here again, I mean, I like that, what's it called? Sweet Cinnamon Latte shade, this like goldy taupey shade, and the silver called Icing Drip. But then those 4 other shades, I'm like, could do without it. And Gimme Glow, by the way, has really, really, really expensive shipping to Europe. So it's just, so far, it's not been feasible for me to buy anything from them, because it's just, it instantly makes a palette like 3 times more expensive. And I'm not about that life. Then another Colourpop release, which is the Stone Cold Fox. And people have been asking me if I will be buying this. And I hate to disappoint you, I will not. Mainly because it's 30 shades and I don't like these really big palettes. I would much rather get the 9-pan taupe palette than something this big. Plus, I don't think this is very cool toned. I think you get 2 rows, maybe 3 of true cool tones with like those grays in the middle, and then the 2 rows right off of it. But then the other 3 rows, to me, they look quite warm toned and rosy, a bit more mauve leaning. And I think that can work really well in terms of like a neutral palette. I mean, I think that if I didn't own that much eyeshadow yet, then something like this would be right up my street. Actually, this is one where I would actually consider buying it just to review it. Just to see, will I like this, yes or no? However, as I have experience with Colourpop's eyeshadow palettes that are bigger than a 12-pan, there are repeat shades. And just by looking at these shades, I'm like, I know that this shade is going to be the same as this one, and this shade is going to do the same as this, and this shade is going to do the same as that. So I don't think this palette will feature unique enough shades. However, I can see why some people might like this. However, just by looking at the picture, I think that you get 50% cool tones and 50% like just neutrals leaning warm tones. But yeah, let me know if you'd be interested in me trying it. However, if I try it, it will not be until 2021, because I'm not going to buy anything from Colourpop until Black Friday. That's the plan. Juvia's Blazing Colourpop, I'm gonna buy it for Black Friday, but those orders probably won't even be here until Christmas, because that's been my experience in the past few months / weeks, like years. Whenever I bought anything from the States, they get a huge amount of orders and it takes a long time to process. And then of course, because so many things have to be shipped over, there are usually some shipping delays as well. So it easily takes like 4 to 6 weeks before stuff gets to me. So I'm not sure if by January people would still be interested in this palette. So that's just the reality of what's going on with me and how I space out my makeup spending, you could say. So I'm not sure if by that time anybody would still like to know. But yeah, let me know, because this is something where I'm like, yeah, I could try that for a review. I just don't think it will really suit my makeup needs. Just warning you in advance. And then another Colourpop release, and this is one I'm super stoked about. It's the, what's it called again? It's like the fall blooming kind of collection. It features 3 palettes, and one of them is called Baroque. And it has this like tealy, bluish, cool toned color story. And I'm like, oh, yes, please. It's coming to their website. It says, in a lot of the information I could find, it said Ulta only, but it is also coming to their website, but a little bit later. So I'm hoping that by Black Friday, this is still in stock and I can get it. KVD Beauty came out with a palette and I took one look and I was like, isn't that exactly like the 10th anniversary palette that was released like a few years ago? I don't even know why they did this. So we're going to skip on that. Too Faced was promoting some Christmas palettes. I'm like, Too Faced, you do the same thing every single year. Can we please see something differently? Again, I'm going to be very short and sweet about it. Then Unicorn Cosmetics is coming out with the Wicked palette, and they seem to be doing something very interestingly here, where they have these duo kind of shades. I have to say, I really like some of the purples in that bottom row, but there's a whole lot in this where I'm like, I wouldn't use it, not unique enough. So we're gonna pass up on that. Terra Moon Cosmetics has launched the El Barrio palette, and I look at this and I'm like, no. Again, this is just something I don't need, especially because I just bought myself the Shroud Cosmetics Arcana palette, which also has these like richy, like more jewel tone leaning kind of greens and reds and blues and teals and stuff like that. So I feel it may be very similar to that. However, I'm still lusting after a bit of Terra Moon Cosmetics. I'd like to try the brand. It's just that I haven't been able to find anything that I really want to buy. Huda Beauty is launching a new palette for holiday, which is the Naughty palette, and it features lots of like warm tone neutrals and some like burgundies and like interesting swirly shades. It's just that I'm like, this is just not for me. This is not made for someone this pale. I mean, look at me. Someone left a comment the other day saying, this lighting is making you look very, very white. I'm like, no, that's just actually like, if I match my foundation to my neck, this is a bronzer, by the way, but do you see how light that is? And like my hand, like it's just, this is just how pale I am, people. And this is not pale girl friendly at all. It doesn't look like it. It might. I just think that if you have a warm undertone, more like olivey, tan leaning, I think this would be very stunning on you. It's not made for me, so I'm gonna stay away. Another palette release from Colourpop, and it's inspired by The Mandalorian. I never watched that. I'm not a Star Wars fan at all, but I do have to say that it seems to feature some really nice cool tone greens. So I think that Taupe palette, the Baroque, and this one, if they still have it by Black Friday, I would be very interested to try them. I would. I think I might like this one actually. Oh, and then I need to mention Menagerie Cosmetics again. I just told you that I bought the Pastels palette from Beauty Bay because I cannot buy the Pastel Pup because at the moment Menagerie is not shipping internationally. They decided to do that because there are so many shipping delays from where they are living, which makes sense. But now they've also announced that they're currently closed for business and they're gonna reopen their store in November. And then they're gonna also, it's the last chance for the Violent ink. And I'm like, so wait, you're telling me that I haven't been able to purchase from your website for the past 6 months because they've been closed since early May, I think? Yeah, early May. So they've been closed for 6 months. I haven't, and right when, like, I was like at the ready, like I was like, okay, right now when they restock, I'm going to buy Menagerie stuff because they had announced this restock, but then at the same time they announced that they were closing the shop for international customers. And I was like, okay, great, because I was like Violet Ink, Whale Song, Pastel Pup. Those are the 3 palettes on my wish list. They're like top of the list. And now they're discontinuing the Violet Ink. And they've said that you can still buy the singles, but that they're discontinuing the actual packaging. But I would like to have it in the packaging because that's what's so brilliant about this palette. So I don't know if anybody's up for lending me a US address when this comes back in stock and they reopen, so that I can like have it shipped to you and then you forward it to me. Like, I don't know, because they're saying they're not gonna reopen the store for international customers until 2021 because the issues haven't been resolved. And it's absolute bogus because I've been ordering from many US brands over the past couple of months and I've had no issues with delays. And I'm like, shouldn't it be my risk as a consumer? And of course I understand it if she gets lots of claims of people saying my package has gotten lost. But then I'm like, then you need to put a disclaimer on your website like Shroud did. Like Shroud just has a thing, like because of the COVID, it takes so many more days to process your order and just please be patient. And I'm like, I don't mind waiting as long as it gets here in the end and I've got a tracking number, I'm happy, you know? Because then I can always file a claim with the postal services if need be. You know, it's just like, oh, so it's very frustrating. So yeah, if anybody would like to help a girl out, if I can borrow your address, then that would be nice. But yeah, if not, then I'm just gonna have to buy those singles by the time they open back up. But yeah, I'm a bit peeved with how the brand is handling this, because they seem to be the only one who's really, you know, who's closed their shop for only some customers and not everyone. Wahala 2, Juvia's Place. Woo! I love the purples in this palette. Oh, all those lovely, like, bluey, indigo-y, periwinkle shades are right up my street. The greens, the pinks, it's got cool tones. And then it's got 5 warm tone, neutrally orangey tones where I'm like, what am I supposed to do with that? Like, if it didn't have that row that starts with the orange going down, and that would have been more like cool tone neutrals, I would have liked this a million times better, because then everything would have gone together. But that orange, what am I going to pair it with? Plus it seems to have 3 pressed glitters, and one of them is that really stunning purpley shade. And I'm like, again, if this is in stock, and they have a good deal on this for Black Friday, I might try it, but it is big. It's 30 shades. I don't know, but I love 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of these rows, whereas with the Colourpop one, it's only half the palette I like. And here I'm like, save for the 3 glitters and that very neutrally row, I really like this. And then Makeup Revolution has come out with a Disney collection, a Beauty and the Beast palette, and Princess and the Frog, and Cinderella is here. And they seem to be like double-sided with like a face palette and an eyeshadow palette. So I think lots of people might actually like something like this. It's just that if I look at these color stories, I don't think so. Like, the one that interests me most in terms of eyeshadows is the Princess and the Frog, but then the Beauty and the Beast palette seems to have better complexion products for me. And then Cinderella, I just really like some of those periwinkles that I can see that really nicely match her dress. So I don't need this. I really, really don't, but I am intrigued, but I don't need it. Then Melt Cosmetics, and I'm gonna have to show 2 different pictures, is coming out with a Beetlejuice collection. Yeah. You know how I feel about Melt. They are one of my favorite brands for eyeshadow for sure. And they have the Recently Deceased and the Waiting Room palette. And the Recently Deceased has greens and purples. You know I love that combo. You know I love that combo. I'm just really expecting this to be super expensive. Oh, that's strange. I didn't notice that before, but the Recently Deceased is 8 shades. And then the other one, the Waiting Room palette, which is like plums and burgundies with gray tones. But that seems to be 10 pans. So yeah, if this comes to Beauty Bay, which again, I need to hope and wonder whenever that might happen. But then I might, that crimson and burgundy palette with the grays, like, that to me is like such a clever color story. It's again very grungy, like the Melt Muerte that came out last year. That one I would be much more inclined to try than the greens with the purples, because I feel I have greens and purples in other palettes that I could either put together, or I have it in my singles, or other brands have done something similarly, or I could put palettes together and create something similarly. But I think the other one with the grays and the burgundies is the more unique one for me. So yeah, if I find this on Beauty Bay, I might purchase it. Sugarpill is coming out with the capsule collection. This looks nice, but none of these palettes has really sparked my interest. That packaging and then the different sizes for the shadows, it's just not my thing, not my thing. And then Nabla is coming out. Is that true? Yeah, Nabla is coming out with a neutral palette that seems to feature quite a few cool tones. So I'm very intrigued with this. Like, Nabla, yes, please. I'm not sure whether there's enough cool tones for it for me to really be a cool tone palette. It seems to be more like a bit of warmth, a bit of neutral, a bit of cool, so that overall you get a really nice like spectrum. But I think this might be nice. This is an, yeah, I'm not sure when is this supposed to launch? In November, but it may already be available in Europe. Sometimes the US is a bit behind when it's a European brand. So yeah, this I like. I quite like this. And then as I am filming this video, it's not yet live, but today, as you're watching this video, Lethal Cosmetics is also going to be announcing new stuff. So I just thought I'd let you know. And then last but not least, Lorac is coming out with a new palette called the Vintage Glamour. And it's one of those rectangular palettes, a bit like the Pros. But this does have 16 shades rather than their standard. I think the other ones come with 14. But it has a full row of shimmers and a full row of mattes. Again, I really like the look of this. So I seem to be gearing more towards neutrals again. Like I had these like 2 years where I was like, yeah, I need all the brights, I need all the colorful things. And now I'm like, ooh, I just like a good neutral. Like that Nabla palette, the stuff from Colourpop, the Lorac. And then also from Melt, I'm much more interested in that gray toned with burgundy palette than anything else. So yeah, those were the things I wanted to mention in today's video. So let me know in a comment down below what some things are that you are looking forward to trying. I would love to know. And then, yeah, let's see, because by the end of this month, we will have had November and Black Friday. So that means that by the next video, next time I do a video like this, I will have definitely purchased quite a bit. So yeah, stay tuned because I will be doing a Black Friday haul for sure in December. That's the plan anyways. But yeah, I'm trying to like hold off on buying anything like too much right now so that I can have some cash at the ready for when Black Friday rolls around. That's the plan. So yeah, I'm hoping I can get my hands on some of these things for sure. So thank you very much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more by me. I make 3 new videos a week, so I can't wait to see you in my next video. Bye-bye!